From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate. Helene is now a tropical storm with maximum sustained winds of 112 kilometers per hour. Hours ago, Helene roared ashore in Florida's Big Bend area as a dangerous Category 4 hurricane. Hillsborough County Fire Rescue Public Information Officer Danny Alvarez says that despite the conditions, they were doing their best to respond to all emergencies.
We are doing our very best to respond to all the calls. We currently have about 120 calls, an additional 90 on hold. 95% of those calls are storm-related.
Although the darkness of night has kept its secrets, the rising sun is expected to show significant and widespread damage beyond Florida as the storm tracks north. Up to 25 centimeters of rain has already fallen in the North Carolina mountains, with up to 36 centimeters more possible before the deluge ends. Back home now, where more testimony is due today at the ongoing federal inquiry into foreign interference. This time, current and former officials of Canada's spy agency, including Interim Director Vanessa Lloyd and former Director David Vigneault, are expected to speak. At yesterday's session, the federal government began considering new ways to publicly flag possible foreign interference in elections. Under the current system, a panel of 5 top bureaucrats would issue a public warning if they believed an incident or an accumulation of incidents threatened Canada's ability to have a free and fair election. Some experts and justice advocates are concerned that Alberta is underspending on its correctional system. Statistics Canada data shows that Alberta had a significantly lower average daily cost per inmate than other provinces last year. And University of Ottawa professor Justin Pichet says the low cost might be partly explained by the Edmonton Remand Centre's reliance on security cameras over staff. He says this reliance contributes to harsh conditions for the inmates.
A facility that's more bereft of human interaction is going to be more inhumane than others.
Last week, an Alberta judge found that staffing levels were partly to blame for an inmate suicide in 2020 at the Edmonton Remand Centre. An Anishinaabe elder says she loves to hear stories about how her work promoting her nation's language is influencing children. Barbara Nolan launched a series of online videos last month to introduce the language to the community's youngest members. In her videos, Nolan uses immersion techniques instead of teaching the language, encouraging people to live it. She says many residential school survivors had their language taken from them, a dispossession that she actively resisted, but one that left an indelible mark on many others. Nolan has tried to buck the trend, working to revive and spread the language since the early 1970s. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the New York Yankees are celebrating their second American League East title in 3 years. Aaron Judge hit his 58th homer of the season in a 10-1 rout of Baltimore. The Yankees will have home field advantage in a best-of-5 division series starting October 5th. The Orioles, they'll play in the Wild Card Series. The last-place Toronto Blue Jays are idle. There will be a new men's champion at the PointsBet Invitational in Calgary. Felix Asselin beat Reed Carruthers 5-4 to eliminate the two-time defending champion. Earlier, 4-time Canadian champion Kerry Einarson was knocked out after dropping an 8-6 decision to a junior team skipped by Alison McNutt. And the international team is still looking for its first point at the President's Cup near Montreal. The U.S. swept the opening 4-ball matches and will take a 5-0 lead into day 2. The first team to score 15.5 points wins the tournament. The international side, which includes 3 Canadians, is trying to avoid a 10th straight loss. From the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.